All right. Let me call the meeting to order, Friday, July 28, 2017. The first thing we'd like to do is any additions or deletions to the agenda. I did add one thing to the agenda, just some chairman remarks here at the beginning. Is there anything else you'd like to add or delete?
Yeah, Bill Biggs ought to be on time. Yeah.
If not, could I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. I just would like to start the meeting with a moment of silence to remember our friend Patty. Thank you. Not going to be the same without her.
You're right.
No doubt. I'd just like to start the meeting, just make a few remarks about our EDA board and our path as we move forward, if you don't mind. Front Royal, Warren County IDA began in 1967. I was 8. Billy, I graduated college. In 1995, we became an IDA doing business as an EDA. In layman's terms, our group is charged with creating good jobs and increasing the tax base in order for our community to continue to prosper. Simple as that sounds, sometimes it's not. In fact, it usually is not simple. We work with our local government, our state government, our federal government agencies. We work with multi-million-dollar industries and startup businesses that have one employee. We navigate the policies of whatever entity we are working with. We navigate local codes, state codes, federal codes. We work on projects that take one meeting to make it happen. And we work on projects that take 20 years. Often our work is driven by the economy of the region, the state, and the country as a whole. We are charged with explaining to potential businesses why they should open our doors in our community, knowing full well we're often competing with communities across the U.S. This means our board has to be knowledgeable of all of our local requirements. We have to be knowledgeable of what our local workforce is willing or able to support. We also have to be knowledgeable of what our locality is willing to negotiate in order to draw that business here. We need to work with all the personalities involved. Each of us know that the relationships we develop are key to being successful. We often need to be confidential during the negotiation process with a business. We need to appreciate that most of the businesses and industries that we deal with have many other irons in the fire, and that a misstep on our part can dramatically impact their businesses. We need to always pay attention to the details involved. It's not only the devil that's in the details, it's where the deal's made or broken. Bottom line, our processes to get that simple charge of creating jobs and increasing the tax base are often complicated and deeply involved. And I kind of liken our work to rocket science. To get a rocket to the moon, it takes vision and creativity. It takes a tremendous amount of knowledge and working through many, many details so that the plan comes together and the rocket lands in the right spot. This is like what we do when we help our community find the vision of what our community is going to become. Then we help guide the process, put together all the details, help the industry and businesses land in the right spot here. To that end, I have a gift for each of you. I'm going to give you one. This is a rocket science pen. This is the same pen that astronauts took to the moon and continue to use on space missions. It writes in extreme cold. It writes in extreme heat. It writes underwater. It writes upside down. All of those senses we've gotten to experience on the EDA. I have one for each board member. Even if they're not here, I'm going to give them one. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one for board staff. All right. So, now now that we have the right tool, we'll have no problem getting the job done. So I do have two more things to give you quickly. And you already have these, but I'm going to give them to you anyhow. This is a copy of our bylaws. I have, anybody that wants one, please, we'll get it to you. When you reacquaint yourselves with them, you will see that they're pretty basic. There's enough here to give us guidance for our mission. And I'm going to suggest that we review these bylaws and determine if there are any changes we want to make that will help us do our jobs. Now you'll notice at the end of the bylaws that we've reviewed these 8 times in the last 11 years. It's not unusual for us to do that. I also want to give you, you have this too, but I'm still going to give it to you. Thank you. And again, if others in the room want it, we're happy to give those to you. Here's a brief description of our roles. I would like to point out that as a chair, I get 1 vote, just like the rest of the board. There is no superpower granted to chair. Tag on it. Now, this is purposeful. It takes a team to make this work, and we are a team. We've also, as a board, this was years ago, chosen to hire an executive director to run our day-to-day operations. We're very fortunate to have an excellent executive director. Now, I remind all of us, and not because anything incorrect has happened, just simply because it's been brought up in the last months. As a board, we need to approve, and we do approve, all decisions. Our executive director cannot enter into an agreement. She cannot purchase a property, start a new initiative, or take any other significant action without board approval. That's our job. To reacquaint ourselves with our role, I've asked Jennifer to contact the Virginia Economic Development Partnership for the purpose of having this group give us, I'm going to also invite the Board of Supervisors and the Town Council to give us a refresher on the EDA's role in the community. You'll hear more about this shortly, but I think it'll be very helpful to us to reacquaint what the EDA does and is supposed to do. Additionally, I think it's time for us to review our strategic plan and update it. We've made great progress on our plan, and that means it needs to be updated. Also, effective organizations always keep their plan in front of them, and we've done that. I look forward to our continued work together. Each board member brings a lifetime of experience and perspective to the table that is different from every other person at the table. This is what makes us such a great team. Honestly, I look forward to our monthly meeting every month. I'm excited about serving as chair, and I will do what I can to keep us focused on our mission, creating good jobs, increasing the tax base in order for our community to continue to prosper. So, sorry I took a little time there, but I just wanted to kind of set the stage. So, all right. Now we'll do the record stuff. Nobody has their pen. Good. So, you can take it out and start writing with it right now. All right. Approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any comments? Minutes? Hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Oh, thank you. Financials for June 2017, can I get a motion?
Accept them and read.
Second.
All right, any comments?
Just as a reminder, I know I remind it every month, but you will see the fluctuating number in our operating account, and that's because of the new market tax credit stuff that we're doing for the town and county. So when they submit an invoice, we submit that to the bank, it gets put in our operating, we cut the check. So that will fluctuate throughout the next few years because of that program.
It's a lot of money.
It is.
Any other comments on financials?
I just wanted to point out one thing, with the town and county debt service, we have to submit that to the town and county each year for approval. So if there's an additional purchase, we would send that to the county or the town for that increase in our debt service. We have not increased our debt service for any purchases other than Leech Run Parkway or the new market tax credit. I just wanted to point that out, that no additional purchases have been made and submitted to the town and county for additional monies.
This last year.
Yep.
Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Mr. Waltz? No, I'm sorry, I skipped up. I'm
He didn't have his pen out.
She's laughing.
Get the best for last.
Good morning, congratulations, Mr. Chair, welcome everybody. A couple things, one, tourism, as you know, the county officially adopted our local ordinance to allow collection of additional 3% of transient occupancy tax that took effect July 1. While the county is not looking for this to supplant the current town funding for the visitor center, I think there are branding and promotion issues that we can work on collaboratively for the good of the community. And wayfinding signage program is one of those things that probably be right at the top of the list. We've drafted a memorandum of agreement between town and county to appoint a joint tourism committee. That went to liaison. Liaison has kicked it back to the council and board to start considering. And our board will start talking about it at its meeting on August the 1st. I think it's a good effort to get both of us working together on these issues. Fort Mill Golf Course, the county is currently advertising for an RFP for management of the Fort Mill Golf Club. As you know, that's been a hot topic during budget season the last 3 or 4 years. Proposals will do on August 31st. The copies available on the county website. We talked to a couple of folks that are interested in possibly submitting something to take that operation over. Building inspections year to date, 87 new home starts. That's January 1, June 30. Of that number 6 were in the town limits and 81 outside town limits. As a comparison, in 2016, we had a total calendar year of 145 new home starts. We had 75 for that same period through June 30th. Our projected total is 174, which would be a growth rate of about 1.03%. Would be the 7th straight year of increases since we bottomed out in 52 in 2010. So that's continued good news. For 16-17, our total number of permits was down slightly from 2498 to 2410. So that's all permits, even demolition, re-roofing, those types of things. Total inspections were down from 10,528 to 1090, but we lost the Dominion project of the previous year. So a big project and had a bunch of little inspections winding down at the middle school. So what's really happening is the big project stuff is going away, and you're seeing more single family, more other projects like that don't take as many inspections. So it's not unusual for the permit numbers, inspection numbers to drop. Second middle school, we're 99, probably 0.99%, right, Greg? Essentially completed. They're finishing up punch list items this week and getting ready for Greg's new dedication, 9 a.m. Monday morning. Wesley Jeffries Elementary School is a flurry of activity. We're probably now over 80% done. The building addition and roof project, by the end of next week, those parts will be substantially complete. That's what you're paying for, part of the New Market Tax Credit Program. We've also almost completed the parking lot project. They've got a retaining wall. We'll start on probably about Monday or Tuesday next week putting it up. The goal is by the time students walk through in a couple of weeks that most of that will be done. There's a few pieces, like we've got some canopy sections that will be on order and will be coming in, say, mid to late September when we wrapping things up. But that work can be done in the evening, on weekends, and around school hours, so we're not too worried about that. And Greg's folks are working on a separate contract with Amaretto on the inside of the building. That building will have a complete new look to it, and later in the fall when Greg has a ribbon cutting, I hope you take the opportunity to come to that because you guys have been part of that, again, through the New Market Tax Credit Program. Playground project, we're working with the landscape architect to finalize plans. Again, we basically took away their playground for kids to expand parking. And phases 1 and 2, the school had raised money for. Our staff is going to do all the site work. And the Rotary Club of Front Royal did a $5,000 donation and a 5-year, $5,000 a year, $25,000 total commitment that would be matched. So that, when it's matched, will be enough to finish phases 3 and 4 and complete the playground. So
That's
thanks.
amazing. That's amazing.
Shenandoah Farm Sanitary District, we had 3 road projects we cut the ribbon on last week. Those were all completed. There are 3 other sections. Eventually, we're punching up State Road to the middle of the subdivision. We just added about a little over half mile distance. We've been on 55 West, the Tottenham turn lane project on 55 has been completed. It's something we've been working with VDOT and utility companies on for about 10 years. Our revenue sharing project, which the EDA is going to manage, out on 522 to facilitate the Royal Farms convenience store construction. We had bids come back 2 weeks ago, no bids submitted. We're back out to bid now. We've extended the time frame from the 1st of October to about November 15. We're hoping that, talking with some contractors, that we'll be able to get a couple bids this time. But right now, it tells you that the bid market has tightened up, costs are going up, and especially site work, everybody's busy right now. Morgan Ford Bridge, still about, probably just under 40% complete. But in the next week or 2, they're going to start setting the beams. Once they start setting beams, they'll start pouring deck. That bridge project should start moving along fairly quickly. South Fork, about mid-80s% complete. They actually finished the last pour yesterday on the bridge deck. They still got to pour sidewalk and parapet wall, but that's really picking up speed. And I think let's keep our fingers crossed. I'd say let's hope that we'll be done prior to the December contract date. The other big thing, the 345.2, our trolley project, thank the EDA for partnering with us on that. Monday, it kicks off. We're going to send out an email today, 8:15 at the Health and Human Services Complex. We're going to do a quick ribbon cutting with the bus. It's ahead of Greg's school dedication. We're trying to work around that. I figured everybody would come out at 6:30 when the first bus comes through. So we'll try to, I'm going to be on the first bus, but we'll be, for the press, we'll be there 8:15, do something quick, and then scoot over to the school for the school dedication.
Where at 6:30? Still the same?
6:30, the first start will be at the Royal Plaza Shopping Center. But I'm going to probably hop on it, like 6:38 will be the Human Services building. Commercial projects, again, Royal Farms, they have to deliver the pad early this fall. They have about a 3-month construction time frame, so by the end of the year, they should be finished with the convenience store. Of course, the Marriott Town Place Suite, they're working on the foundation walls of the building's coming up. That'll be a summer 18, I believe, completion, summer, fall.
Can you just explain the permit for that they do have their?
Yeah, there's been quite a few, so they have a building permit, and they do have a building permit for the foundation. We're still working with their architect on some of the architectural details of the building itself. But we gave them their foundation permit to allow them to get going. They still got a few more weeks worth of work because they have to build those board basement. They go on. So we'll move forward. Any other questions? Yes, Paul.
The playground project is at Rusty Jeffries.
That's right. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. Mr. Waltz, I apologize.
Morning, everybody. Just wanted to go over, I'll briefly go over a few projects on the list here. Since my last report, we did complete the John Marshall Highway Trail lighting project. It turned out very nice. And the other project that everybody's aware of is the completion of the Leach Run Parkway with the ribbon cutting on June 26th. We are still evaluating the corridor water study. Right now, we're just in a position right now to see how we're going to finance that and how we move forward. With the Afton Inn, as y'all are aware, we did not receive any funds through an RF grant, and obviously the EDA is still marketing that property. We're continually to wait for the CDBG. Hopefully we'll hear something back in September or October on that. I have some good news on our Chrysler Road Bridge replacement. We are finally making some headway with obtaining a construction easement. We've actually also advertised for the construction of the project. Bids are due back on August 10th. So I'm hoping by next report that we'll see some definite activity on that project. Also, the Kaiser Road Trail project, design is complete and is currently out for bid with closings on Monday. So hopefully we can get that in here. Hopefully next month we'll have quite a bit of activity moving on. The Happy Creek Road Phase 2 project, I've been talking with VDOT and trying to get authorization to move forward with the authorization for the design of the project, as well as starting the paperwork for revenue sharing for that project. With the IT federal site, town staff has reviewed the site plans that they submitted and sent comments back to Bowler Engineering on June 19th, and we're waiting for Bowler to resubmit with the comments. Main Street Extension, staff continues to work with Pinoni on the final design and traffic analysis, as well as working with Bowler and coordinating with the IT Federal Lot 6 site. It is my understanding that we will be having a meeting probably in the first week of August with all the parties involved to make sure that we get everything in sync so that we can proceed on with the IT Federal site.
I believe Jeremy submitted his comments on the light fixtures and the landscaping last Friday.
Last Friday?
So I think they had requested that a few weeks prior. He got back to them. I think Bowler now has those plans that they submitted yesterday or today.
Okay. All right, great. Our former police department, we're still in the process of trying to sell that property. The person that's trying to purchase that property are having some issues with environmental studies, so they're having to go through some different hoops through their lender. So hopefully that property will be resolved and off our inventory. For the new police department, I'm happy to say that we did hire a clerk of the works that will oversee the construction of the project. We're almost in position right now to actually issue a bid for construction. I look for that to hit the street within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So hopefully we could definitely, we did get our DEQ permit, which is obviously one of the biggest hurdles that we can encounter in any type of construction project in Virginia. So we really got the green light once we get a good contract price on this. Property maintenance code, council continues to discuss this. This will be coming back up for council discussion on August 7th as well. Our public safety campaign, our contractor's coming back in next week, not just to finish the line painting throughout town, but also complete all the upgrading and reinforcing all the crosswalks in town. That process should take about 2 weeks. And then we'll be done with that effort. We're still going to focus on enforcement, and obviously this education process is yearly. We won't give up on that safety campaign. Worsham Gas and Light, not been much activity on that. I did have a conversation with Worsham Gas and Light this week, and we're looking like setting up a meeting in September to discuss any further development on that project. Westminster Sidewalk Project, this is a frustrating project because it's tied to federal grants, and they are taking their time. And so we're kind of at a holding pattern waiting for those grant monies to be released so that we can advertise the project. And the wastewater treatment plant, things are going really well with that. We're going to be completed by November. We're about 83% complete. And with that, I conclude my report unless anybody has any questions.
I just had one, a month or so ago, we had discussed the town hall plaque.
Right.
Do you have any, has council approved that language or?
I am currently still waiting for Patrick Ferris to return that verbiage. I have yet to see it. I do know that we did have, my office did have contact with them this week
Okay.
on that, but we still haven't seen anything yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Very good. A lot of big stuff happening. Getting information from the chamber.
Yeah, I printed off some of the chamber's upcoming events for the board. They have their Brews and Blues Festival coming up September 23rd. Their Oktoberfest on October 13th. And then their leadership class. And there's some information on that in there as well.
All right. Thank you. Executive Director.
All right, right, as Joe mentioned, we continue to meet with the town staff on West Main Street Extended, trying to get all of the paperwork that Jeremy needs to him in a timely manner, which I think that has happened now. EPA was here for their 5-year review, and we had no comments. This is the first time since we've taken ownership of the site that we've had no comments on the 5-year review, so that was a good thing. Town business activity, we continue to work with one fast food company, a gas station, a restaurant, and a developer that's looking at multiple properties within the town. We are working with Prospect, looking at 7 acres here at the Avtech site, one for the B&G goods store, and a potential developer for the afternoon. In the county, we continue to work with a partnership on a manufacturing facility and a distribution facility. As Doug mentioned, the 522-340 road improvement project, and then the trolley announcement was made. As Joe mentioned, the Lakefront Parkway, that ribbon cutting took place on June 26th. We still have a punch list that Branch is working on. We met with them on Wednesday, so hopefully they'll have that punch list completed soon. We had our Development Review Committee meeting on Wednesday. It was a short meeting. There were not a lot of things discussed. Several things in the corridor, like the Marriott project and the 522-340 improvements were discussed at that meeting. Workforce housing, we continue to wait on DEQ. The Regional Training Academy, we received our permit from DEQ yesterday at 11:08 a.m. So we have that permit in hand. And now we will meet with Shockey to start construction of that project. The Afton Inn, we're working with the developer on that. The IRP program, our current balance is $420,000. Our small loan program is about $150,000. We've had several paid off in the past 6 months. McKay Springs, we continue to receive inquiries on that site. We met with the Go Virginia initiative on Tuesday. They're trying to gather some information on the region. Hopefully we'll have that report to us soon. Just our scholarships, $5,500 to those students. Our auditors were in for their preliminary field work in June. They will come back in September for the actual audit, and then we'll receive that final audit in November or December. That audit is then handed over to the town and county for review. We announced the winners of our Business Appreciation Awards, and we had 4 site visits with Jeremy and David in the month of June. And I just also wanted to add on our budget numbers, because we will be discussing that come October. But just as a reminder, our operating budget, 25% of that is funded by the county. The remaining 75% is funded by EDA activities. So the county gives $103,000 this year, $103,000 towards our operating budget of a little over $460,000. That's all.
Got it. All right, any old business come before the board? Staff comments?
What about Sorrento? Do they want to bring back up? No.
Director comments? I guess the only comment I would make is just a reminder, Monday, if we invite everybody to come to the dedication ceremony at the new Warren County Middle School. It's at 9 a.m. And at 11:30 that same morning, we are also doing a renaming dedication ceremony for the Skyline Middle School, which is the Luray Avenue School. So we will confuse people for a little while, I'm sure. But, other than that, all right. I need someone else to read.
Just figured that out. Motion to go into closed meeting. I move that the board of the EDA vote to go into a closed meeting under the provisions of section 2.2-3711 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act for the following purposes. Section 2.2-3711.8.1, discussion, consideration, for interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of any public body. Section 2.2-3711.8.3, discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for public purpose or for the disposition of publicly held real property where discussions in open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the EDA. I further move that the discussion be limited to a parcel or parcels in Warren County or the town of Front Royal. Section 2.2-3711.8.5, discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the businesses or industry's interest in locating or expanding its facilities into the community. Section 2.2-3711.8.7, consultation with legal counsel employed by the EDA regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel. Consultation with legal counsel and briefings by staff members or consultants pertaining to actual or probable litigation, where such consultation or briefing in open meeting would adversely affect the negotiating or litigating posture of the public body, and consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by the public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel. Llewellyn, aye.
Jones, aye.
Biggs, aye. Drescher, aye.
Motion coming out of closed meeting on a motion made by Ron Llewellyn, seconded by
Biggs.
and by unanimous vote, the board certifies to the best of each member's knowledge that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened or heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the public body. Llewellyn, aye.
Jones, aye.
Biggs, aye. Drescher, aye. Thank you. We're out of closed. We have
Chairman.
several resolutions.
I do. I have the first resolution. Resolution by the Industrial Development Authority of the Town of Front Royal and the County of Warren, Virginia, to proceed with Mode Partnership LLC as the main developer of the former Afton Inn location at 2E Main Street with tax map number 20A8-4-14. I, Ron Llewellyn, seconded by
Biggs.
move the adoption of the following resolution. We, the undersigned, being the majority of the directors of the Front Royal Warren County Industrial Development Authority, existing under the laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia, do hereby adopt the following resolution to be as valid and effectual as a resolution passed at a meeting of the Board of Directors. Authorize Greg Drescher as chairman, Bruce Drummond as vice chairman, and/or Jennifer McDonald as the executive director, execute any and all negotiations and documents with Mode Partnership LLC for the redevelopment of the former Afton Inn location at 2 East Main Street with tax map number 2A8-4-14. Sign this and send it around.
Jennifer has those.
I got it all.
Oh, can I hear a motion to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
And
You still need signatures.
Yeah.
yes. Okay, none opposed, resolution is passed.
Send this around first. Or 728.
728.
I'm going to go ahead and start the second resolution while that goes around. Resolution by the Industrial Development Authority of the Town of Front Royal and the County of Warren, Virginia, on behalf of the Town of Front Royal, to move forward with the approval of demolition of the Afton Inn location at 2 East Main Street. I, Ron Llewellyn, seconded by move the adoption of the following resolution. We, the undersigned, being the majority of the directors of the Front Royal Warren County Industrial Development Authority, existing under the laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia, do hereby adopt the following resolution to be as valid and effectual as a resolution passed at the meeting of the Board of Directors. Authorize Greg Drescher as chairman, Bruce Drummond as vice chairman, and/or Jennifer McDonald as executive director to execute any and all negotiations and documents for the demolition of the former Afton Inn located at 2 East Main Street with tax map number 20A8414. Llewellyn, aye.
Jones, aye.
Biggs, Drescher, aye. approved. Thank you. Yep, sorry. Should roll our heads.
Resolution by the Industrial Development Authority of the Town of Front Royal and the County of Warren, Virginia for the removal of Patricia S. Wines' signature to the bank account of the IDA EDA and add Bruce Drummond as vice chairman as a signature to all bank accounts of the IDA EDA. I, Ron Llewellyn, I probably have features on this one. I, Ron Llewellyn,
Big,
second. Move that the adoption of the following resolution. We, the undersigned, being the majority of the directors of the Front Royal Warren County Industrial Development Authority, existing under the laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia, do hereby adopt the following resolution to be as valid and effectual as a resolution passed at the meeting of the Board of Directors. Authorize Greg Drescher as chairman and/or Jennifer R. McDonald as executive director to execute any and all negotiations and documents for the removal of Patricia S. Wines as signature to all bank accounts of the IDA EDA and to add Bruce Drummond as vice chairman as signature to all bank accounts of the IDA EDA. I, Llewellyn, yes.
big,
Pressure.
One final resolution. Resolution by the Industrial Development Authority of the Town of Front Royal and the County of Warren, Virginia for the approval of bank and related financing. I, Ron Llewellyn, seconded by, move the adoption of the following resolution. We, the undersigned, being the majority of the directors of the Front Royal Warren County Industrial Development Authority, existing under the laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia, do hereby adopt the following resolution to be as valid and effectual as a resolution passed at the meeting of the Board of Directors. Authorize Greg Drescher as chairman, Bruce Drummond as vice chairman, and/or Jennifer McDonald as executive director to execute any and all negotiations and documents for the EDA to obtain financing through such financing institutions as approved by the board for any and all land purchases, refinances, new market tax credits, bond financing, and any other related financing needs of the EDA as approved by the board of directors. I, Llewellyn.
big,
Pressure, aye.
That concludes the resolutions for me.
Is there any other new business?